Bro, I was thinking about this today, and I gotta fucking tell you, I'm so tired of hearing this dumb shit from people. This mother of the Matrix, the Sophia Stewart. It's been proven that she is a lying bitch for so long. For so long. And people still today, and this has been since what, the 80s? This has been since the 80s, and it keeps on going. It keeps on going, and people keep on believing it. And you know what I find funny is she has all these supporters, and no one's bought her fucking books. No one's read her fucking books. No one's bought her fucking books. That's a fact. That's a fact because I know, because every time I quiz these guys, every time I talk to these guys, it's obvious. Now, did I buy it? No. No, I certainly did not buy it. I did get my hands on a copy. But you know what? I just think that I feel like people say that people who are in cults or the people who are really religious are very dumb, right? Oh, you're in a cult. Oh, you're so dumb to believe in whatever you're believing in. But people believe in all types of things. And I think this is a grand example that I'm just tired of. I think it's just me. Okay. If you've never heard this story, I'll explain it. It's pretty easy. Okay. She claims to have wrote both The Matrix and Terminator. She claims that these movies are in the same universe and intrinsically tied to one another, despite coming out in different years, going through different processes, being written by real fucking people that actually wrote stuff. These people didn't just magically one day wake up and get the script. Either way, I will say that she went to court. She did not win. She failed to provide any evidence. She got completely demolished. She lost a ton of money. But thankfully, there are rules, okay? And this woman apparently is very hard to work with. But there are rules when you're a lawyer, okay? And when you don't follow those rules, no matter how difficult the client is, it's kind of the same way What's a good example of that? Basically, if you do malpractice on somebody as a doctor, same thing. You know, if you fuck something up and you're not honest about it, and it you know, causes something, you could get sued. Well, her lawyers mishandled some shit. You know, that case is locked up. Like, you can't get a lot of details on it. But they mishandled some shit. They didn't like working with her. They told her that the case, you know, they'll represent her, but they knew they were going to lose the case. She failed to provide evidence, and basically, when these lawyers do this stuff, dude, you have to push your personal shit, or don't take the case. That's what a lot of lawyers do. They just don't take the case. But some lawyers are like, well, we'll take the case, we'll take the cash, and we'll whatever. And so since she had bad representation, probably because she found these dumbasses just on Craigslist or some shit. I don't know what they had back then. But you get the point. She found some dumbass lawyers, you know, and you'd have to be a dumbass lawyer to agree to represent the woman, because you know she's lying. And it sucks because they represented her and they shouldn't have, and they got sued. That's where she got this money, okay? People are claiming that she sued the Matrix. She sued the Wachowskis and sued the Terminator. She is able to use their copyrights, and that she got paid a ton of money. She didn't. The woman was basically, she was in a house. She was a little bit of a celebrity, and she was able to pay her house because she got a good deal on it years ago. The bitch isn't homeless. But is that success where you're selling books? Like, she's selling this book, Mother of the Matrix. She's got more. She's got more books though. Third Eye. But it's a racial issue. Because she is black, and because there are certain interest groups within the black communities that will latch on to certain things to co-opt them, to basically say, this is how black people are treated, look at it. It was not because she was black. It was because she had no proof. And no one who has read these books can tell me that that's proof that she wrote them. Especially there was issues with the years and dates and times of all this shit. And I just, at the end of the day, this is one of those things that's always pissed me off, because like, we're still on this. Years later, we're still on this. And no one's ever corrected it. and we can't stop fighting about it. But she claims to have won the copyright case and won a ton of money and done all this. She won the lawsuit against her lawyers because of bad representation, because you still have to follow the law when you represent someone. You can't, loosely follow something and expect, because anyone can sue you if you don't uphold a certain whatever, right? And I think at the end of the day, the fact that people believe this shit, it puts me in a position where I'm like, man, we'll believe anything. We'll believe anything. If you say something with enough charisma, I guess you can just do whatever you want. Because a lot of people are asleep at the wheel, is what it feels like. It feels like a lot of people just don't, for some reason, have any critical thinking skills. They grew up in places that just told them the truth all the time, I'm guessing. I don't know. I grew up in places where everybody was lying. Yeah, you had to figure out how bad the lie was. Dude, I don't know a single person who ever could just tell the truth. And if you've ever been in a relationship with those kind of people, it's frustrating. But the fact that somebody got a little bit famous, got a little bit of charisma, got a little bit of shit attached to the name, and she's been riding that wave for years. And you probably say, oh, well, now that everything has come out, why wouldn't she just tell the truth? It's like, dude, what is the benefit to telling the truth when you're getting to ride off of a wave of success and you were just in the right place at the right time to become some sort of urban legend almost? And she's right. The Matrix 4 did suck. But I don't know. But she claims that the Terminator and the Matrix are set in the same timeline, and she kind of weaves the two together in this kind of bullshit way. And, everybody assigns religious significance to the Matrix and to the Terminator. Okay? My opinion is that people who write material like to jerk themselves off and like to think that they're very deep when bro, you're trying to sell a movie ticket. Why don't you make it entertaining first? And for the Matrix movies, that was done. For Terminator, that was done. But, like, you know, when we sign such deep significance to these things, that's where it gets overwhelming, even for me. I'm a guy who looks at visuals, I look at the writing, I look at the way the actors are, I look at a lot of different facets of all of the movie composition. But when we start literally like, oh, did you know John Connor means Jesus Christ, JC? Like, I'm like, listen, I could not give a flying fuck. You know, I couldn't. I still can't. You know, I'm really not one of those guys that sits around and thinks about, like, well, did you know that when he wrote this, actually, he spent 12 days in a bathtub and he was drinking a lot, and he said he doesn't remember writing it, and then he came out of it and he said that, like, he saw an image of God, and God said, and I'm like, dude, it's a fucking movie. I don't care. Is the movie good? Does it have all the layers? Is it well done? Cinematography well done? Sound effects? Music? I want to see acting. I want to see good casting. I want to see depth. I want to see storytelling. I want to see a good, if your movie's linear, a good linear progression of the entire story and a good payoff. And I want to walk out of there going, damn, that was good. I don't care about all of the, you know, French film is really bad about that, going back a long time. They're really bad about jerking themselves off every chance they get. Like, oh, you see, because the woman's skin is frail, and that is why the woman's skin is frail, and that's why she can't go out into the daytime. So that's why she walk like the window. She go by the window like this. You know, and I'm like, dude, I don't care. It looks like shit. It was filmed like shit. The actor's shit. This is shit. It's a shit movie. Like, but there are those people who think that being unique is enough to be a good, oh, well, I'm a cinemaphile, like, because you're unique. And it has very little to do with that. And all of that religious significance assigned to those two movies has only fueled this more, because they think, and this is not a stretch, go watch the podcast, because they think, well, what does a white man know about spirituality? What does a white man know about spirit? Only a black woman could have wrote that, because she knows the face of God, because God was a black man. They'll say this shit. I think if God's real, he's not any kind of man. You know, they say in his image. Like, that could mean a lot of fucking things. And I think, you know, people who have died say that they see spiritually light beings. I mean, it's definitely not, you know, what we would assign. But that's neither here nor there. Staying on topic, it has given more fucking fuel to this situation, because I think the delusion where religion intersects with art and significance, right? Where you have like an entire village that's like worshipping a piece of toast that vaguely looks like the Virgin Mary. I think that's kind of where I'm at with this. Is it's what it feels like. It feels gross. It feels off. It feels wrong. And if you listen to this woman talk any length of time, yeah, she's had years to perfect her story, change her story, build it up, make it sound more viable. You know, when somebody, for instance, when somebody in the 80s is telling you, like, oh, well, that doesn't make sense, man, because this, and this doesn't line up. And then she goes, okay, well, the next time I tell it, I'll remember that, and I'll make sure to stay away from that, because they would have caught me if I, you know. And so she's had a lot of time to build it up. I just think that, and if you're watching this, I really don't give a fuck what your opinion is on this. If you're here to tell me that it's real, dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. There's a lot of things in life that are very hard. There's like real things that you have to go through. You have to go through the loss of your parents. You have to go through, you know, some people lose kids. There's like really hard emotional barriers in life, and some people do not make it over those. Okay? There's like a few events in your life that will test you. Some people do not make it over those barriers. Some people break. And I think a lot of the people following this woman are, you know, she's famous. That helps. If you're materialistic, you want to believe it. If you're in a community, a certain community, you want to believe it. If you think she can help progress your career, you would want to believe it. If you're super religious and you see the iconography in both of those movies, you want to believe it. You want to believe it. And yes, if the story was true, it would have been, oh, wow, sensational, unbelievable, underdog fights back. No significant impact has been made. They're still making movies. They will continue to make movies. They won't stop making fucking Terminators. And I can tell you, I'm over it. This woman is insignificant to the system at large. But people have put stock because, you know, she can't be lying. That'd be impossible. But I do, again, feel sorry for the people who believe in it, because you don't have to. You know, you don't have to sit there and eat shit for your whole life. You don't have to accept lies. You don't have to accept people because it's the social, the hierarchy demands it. Because let me tell you, if you're black, religious, and you have any kind of political leaning, you're going to believe her because you do the dice roll. You say 50-50. What's my odds here? You know, it might not be 50-50. It's probably more skewed, like 80-20. 20 is where you say you don't believe her, and you're ostracized from your entire system because how fucking dare you question the machine, right? The 80 is you fall in line. You know, what does it hurt you to say that you believe her? What does it hurt you to say you believe her? You're not giving anything up. You might not believe her on the inside, but you're not giving anything up by standing up for her, putting yourself out there, saying, oh, I believe her. You know, you're just staying within your system. And I totally get that. If you're one of those people, that's fantastic. Keep doing what you're doing. I mean, you're living in your system. You're playing by its rules. That's totally cool. If you're one of the people who hardcore believes it, seek help. Don't play poker. Also seek help. Because I mean, you're someone who either lives in so much lie that you haven't seen the light in years, or you got a mental thing, or something. Now, con artists exist. People have convinced people from the dawn of time of tons of different things. Some of them might be true. The vast majority of them are not. False prophets and I don't know. This video has gotten a little off topic, but it's just this thing needs to die. And every single time I go on the internet, and this will crop up at least once a year, maybe once every 2 years, it'll crop back up as a really popular story. And some fucking teenager, somebody on a mission to piss everybody off, brings it back up because it gets attention. But if you'll dig any amount, you'll find out that the proof exists that it's clearly fucking fake. It's a lie. We're not going to get too much more into it, but, these people need to seek help. This is one of those things, movie-wise, that I hate dealing with because it brings up too much shit, and it's not fun dealing with, but I'm tired of dealing with it, right? Because I do have the occasion where I would have to deal with it. But, that's what it is. Now listen, if you want to fight about it, fine, go to the comments. I answer every single comment. If you like this video or you just can't fucking stand me and you want to comment on my videos, it would be best if you just hit the subscribe button. Then you can stalk me to your heart's content, and you can make sure every endeavor that I ever go on is a complete fail. So, with that being said, I will see you in the next one. Stalk me later.